Welcome back to the channel Inner Vision Fitness with Harvey. Before we begin on the marching video, this is purely an inspirational channel motivated through my vision loss journey, and the link for my disclaimer can be found in the description below. So in this video I am focusing on some very beginner friendly marching exercises and showing how it can be adjusted from very gentle in the supine position when lying down, then progressing onto seated, and then finishing off with standing and showing a few standing variations. So it's a very good exercise as it can be easily adjusted depending on our ability, by providing the most stability, then testing some balance in the standing variation. So as ever, I always have the visually impaired community in mind, so hopefully a lot of useful audio. So to start with, I will begin with the benefits of marching. So marching can be good for improving hip strength, also good for balance, posture, coordination, also good for improving cardiovascular fitness, and also good for just improving confidence with everyday movements. So I will begin on my demonstrations, but in the marching I will engage my core in all the variations. Also, shoulders will be nice and relaxed, so not shrugged up. And also in the variations, it's almost like forming a straight line from my head through my spine, and that applies to all the variations. So I will try and do it in a logical order by providing the most stability, then moving through and testing balance in the final variations. So I will start with the supine variation by lying on my back. So to start with, I make sure I have a safe, clear space, and I do it on rubber matting for safety and comfort. So I will get in position and lie on my back on the matting, and my head just nice and relaxed just sits on the mat, and I will bend my knees so that my feet are now flat on the floor, and my feet will be hip width apart. And to begin the march, I will bring my knee up, so one at a time. So I'll do my right knee first, so right knee up, then pause at the top, then back down, then left knee up, pause, back down. Then just showing some demonstrations of the supine variation in the marching, and I form a 90-degree angle with my hip joint and knee, so that my shin is parallel to the ceiling, and engaging the core in the exercise, as I don't want my hips to rock from side to side, keeping the pelvis nice and still. And no arching in the back, and also just breathing naturally in the exercise, so not holding my breath, and just nice and controlled, so not doing it too quickly. And this variation provides the most stability and can be good for beginners, and it's good for improving hip flexor strength, coordination, and just building a foundation before moving on to other variations. So just demonstrating that exercise. So I will now move on to the seated march. So I will get in position and sat now on my bench. Now, if I was in a chair, I would sit at the front of the seat. So my feet are flat on the floor, and a upright position, and just bring my knee up one at a time. So left knee, then right knee, and for beginner, my hands can just rest on the chair, but I could also engage my arms into the movement. So if I bring my left knee up, my right arm comes forward, then right knee up, left arm comes forward. Then just bring that into a nice march. And this one can be good for improving seating posture, and again also good for coordination and improving hip strength, and again still very beginner friendly in the seated marching variation. So in my videos I do like to include some very accessible exercises to hopefully motivate others that simple exercises can be done to get moving and build confidence. So my next variation, I will move on to some standing variations. So my first one will be supported. So a wall supported march. So I will stand facing a wall about arm's length away. Now the wall is more for confidence rather than support. So not leaning into the wall in the march. So just with my fingertips and just marching on the spot. Just the wall just helps with confidence and maybe a bit of safety, and just bring my knee up one at a time, and in the standing variation it tests balance and stability for the standing leg. So it can be good for improving single leg stability. And again, a good rep count for the variations all depends on our ability, but maybe between 10 to 20 reps on each side is a good number. And my feet are hip width apart in this standing variation, and again bringing my knee up to try and form a 90-degree angle with my hip, so my thigh is parallel to the floor. But again, if it's uncomfortable, we can just maybe not bring our knee quite as high. So again, it's all about adjusting the exercise depending on our ability. So I will now move on to the standing marching, but unassisted, so away from the wall. So again, a upright posture, chest up and marching on the spot, but away from the wall. So, and I could also again engage my arms into the exercise, a bit like the seated one. So left knee up, right arm comes forward, then right knee up, left arm comes forward. Then I'll bring that into a nice march, like so. And again, for the visually impaired community, just doing some marching can be good for just improving coordination and confidence and balance. So I will now finish off with a couple of variations in the standing one. So I will do some slow balance marches. So basically, this time, as I bring my knee up, I'm going to just keep that position for a couple of seconds. Now this tests balance. So I'll bring my knee up, so right knee up, then 1, 2, then down. Left knee up, 1, 2, down. Down. And this is good for improving stability. So ankle stability. So really targeting balance in this one. Slow and controlled, good posture, engaging the core. So also good for just control in this one. So just demonstrating the slow, controlled marches. Now, to finish off, I will do some power marching. So this is basically like walking on the spot. So basically walking without travelling. So just doing some power marching. And this one can be good for a good warm-up exercise before we do more strenuous exercises. And for me, so maybe a top tip for the visually impaired community, I am doing this on a rope that is taped to the floor. So every time I step down, I know I am in the same position, and that's good for safety. So a good maybe 30-60 seconds of power marching can be good. Just getting the heart rate up. So good for cardiovascular fitness, and just like walking on the spot. So there we go. That rounds off my marching video. Hope you've enjoyed the demonstrations and hope that it's very accessible and inclusive. So, as I say, marching is a great exercise for coordination, improving balance, improving hip strength, and hopefully just improving overall confidence. So, in my next video I have planned, I will do some more marching, but a bit more intermediate or advanced. So adding some weights this time to the marching. So a bit of a progression. So I hope you've enjoyed the marching video. So very beginner friendly, and if you've enjoyed, please like, share and subscribe. And thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next video.